Hi, I'm Matt Garcia, founder of Total Boxer, the UK's Get Fit Not Hit boxing clubs. Boxing Yoga, the yoga-based training system for fighters, and HIB, high intensity interval boxing. Welcome to basic training. In these videos, we're going to demonstrate the fundamentals of boxing, essential if you're a complete beginner or if you teach technique to others, something we like to call the tech check. You're going to learn about the 4 basic punches, the jab, the cross, the hook, and the uppercut. We're going to show you how to stand in an effective boxer's stance with tight defense, using head movement, hands, and feet to move effectively in and out and at angles. To get the most from your training, I recommend you take your time, practice in front of a mirror, and even record your sessions for review after. Make sure you've got some water handy, stay hydrated, and take your time. And remember, boxing is a journey. So let's get it started. Okay, let's look at the boxer's stance. Now this is probably the most important thing that you will learn in your boxing training. It doesn't matter how fast, how heavy, or how technical your hands or your movement is, unless you've got your footwork right, unless you've got your stance right, unless you feel balanced, it doesn't matter for anything. So let's get you there. The way I like to teach this is I'll have you standing with your feet slightly wider than the hip or shoulder width, and you're just going to bend at the knees here. Just get used to immediately feeling the weight coming through the thighs. In a straight line, you're going to bring your left leg just half a step forward. Again, balance there. With the weight over the thighs and over the balls of the feet, I want you just to lift your heels just slightly and just turn. So what we've got immediately is a nice angled stance with our shoulder back and hopefully feeling nice and balanced. You can sort of micro adjust there so you feel super comfortable, but what you're looking for is width and depth. Here, nice and comfortable. Shifting the weight again so you get used to feeling the weight move, but all the time feeling strong and comfortable. There's a lovely boxing expression, looking through the eyebrows, which is what you're going to do by bringing your chin down and looking through your eyebrows there. What's happening there is that you're serving to protect that chin by virtue of bringing your elbows in and then the hands up. So, protected, balanced, here. Let's just crash that out and go again. Feet shoulder width, bending through the thighs and the knees, weight on the balls of the feet. We're just going to take one step forward, bend the knees there, kick the ankles out, slightly adjust so we've got our width and our depth. Chin down, looking through the eyebrows, elbows in, hands to the chin. Nicely tucked in here. And you want to almost imagine that the wind is blowing around you and you're braving yourself from the elements and you're just tucking yourself in nice and tight. The orthodox stance. It doesn't matter if you fancy yourself as a southpaw, leading with the right hand, the principles are exactly the same. Feet shoulder width, step forward with the right foot, bend the knees, kick the ankles out, chin down, elbows in, hands to the chin. Principles are exactly the same. So, shake it out, crash the technique, let's get back into position, feet shoulder width, bend the knees, half a step forward. Taking the weight through the thighs, kick the ankles out, chin down, elbows in, hands to the chin. Now you don't want to be tense in this position, you want to be nice and loose. Feel nice and comfortable, micro adjust so you feel comfortable here. And you'll notice with that chin down, with the hands up, with the shoulders protecting you here, we're in a nice, solid, tight orthodox stance. If I go profile, you can see it here, chin down, protected and strong, balanced. Again, I'll turn this way. Nice, solid stance, elbows in, hands to the chin. Here. So that's it. That's your orthodox stance. Go ahead and practice that. Take your time. Review the video if you need to. And when you're ready, we'll move on. Footwork. One of the most important things you need to know when you're operating in a boxing ring. Very important that we feel balanced before we start to move. So we're going to get into our stance, nice and comfortable. Now the principles of footwork. You're going to lift the leg in the direction you're going and push off the back leg. It looks like this. So if I want to come forward, I lift that front leg, push off the back leg. If I want to go back, I lift the back leg, push off the front leg. If I want to go left, I'll lift the left leg, push off the right. If I want to go right, I'll lift the right leg, push off the left. Simple, right? So I'm coming towards you, I'm aggressing my opponent, I'm going to lift, push, coming back, lift, push, side step, lift, push, to the right, lift, push. So you can practice that, one forward, one back, left and right, forward, back, left, right. The whole time I feel comfortable, nice and balanced. As you move and you come to the end of that movement, you don't want to be pushing too much weight forward so as to be off balance, coming back or be on your heels. You want to be balanced throughout. That is key. Controlled and balanced. Forward, back, left and right. When you feel comfortable with that movement, you can move a little quicker, lift yourself up just slightly, left and right. And you can mix it up. You can then get on your toes and move a little bit more deliberately, a little bit more energy, and even hold from here. Shifting the weight forward and back. Okay, let's have a look from the side. Lifting the front leg, pushing off the back. Going back, lifting the back, pushing off the front. Coming to the left, lift, push. To the right, lift, push. From this side, lifting the front leg, pushing off the back and back. Here. To the right, to the left. Then we can get on our toes, nice and comfortable, moving forward and back. Holding, still nice and loose, feeling comfortable. When I come forward, I'm not putting too much weight forward. When I come back, I'm not putting too much back. We want to stay balanced throughout. Imagine coming forward, putting all the weight on the front leg and having to lumber back and change your weight to move back. The amount of time that it takes to do that, the amount of damage your opponent could be doing on you, you've got to be nice and controlled, nice and balanced in and out. I like to imagine that foot that lands there before I'm coming back, that's not a landing foot, that's a launch foot. So as I'm coming forward, I land, boom, I'm going, boom, I'm going, boom, forward and back, nice and easy. So go ahead, review the video, practice that, and when you're ready, we'll move on. Okay, so the jab. The jab is the single most used punch in boxing and has multiple purposes. When you've perfected your jab, you'll be using it to gauge distance, to close distance, to tee up the big right hand or the big left hand, and to distract, fake for other punches. Let's get into it and let's show you how it's used. Get ourselves into our nice strong stance. We're balanced, elbows in, hands to the chin, we're comfortable. With the elbows in, I'm going to bring the left hand in my orthodox stance straight out here. As I throw the punch out and I hold it in this position for demonstration purposes, you'll see that my elbow here is tucked in. I'm tucked here on the right side. I've got my chin down and the shoulder is protecting the chin. The arm is nice and straight. Fist is nice and straight here, and I'm aiming to deliver with these two knuckles here, staring straight down the barrel. I'll bring it straight back. Let's go again. Tucked in, out, and in. Here, there, here. From the side, again, nice strong stance, elbows in, hands to the chin, the shoulder's already protecting me here as I throw my jab, comes out nice and straight. You can't see my chin, it's protected by the shoulder, yet my jab hand is coming straight out and back. Here, there. From this side, tucked in, Chin down, looking through the eyebrows, straight down the barrel of those two knuckles, out, and in. You'll notice a very slight turn here, so as to give me maximum reach and momentum using my core to drive the punch there, straight out. Make sure that when you throw that punch, you feel nice and relaxed. Here, as you throw the punch, of course, for demonstration purposes, I'm leaving it out there, but you want to be bringing that straight back because your opponent is going to want to get to your chin or get to your ribs. So you want to be bringing that punch out and in. But rather than start fast, just find your rhythm, feel comfortable, feel balanced. As you throw, bring it out and in. You don't want to be leaning forward and find yourself off balance as you throw. Similarly, you don't want to be sitting back on your heels. So again, make sure you feel comfortable, you feel balanced, take your time, elbows in, hand out and in, and there. Always a good habit, just to breathe out as you throw your punch and bring it in. You can use it to gauge distance, so your jab, gauging distance, just a little light one here, just to gauge where your opponent is, there, or it can be a nice stiff, fast jab, and in, and in. Again from here, nice and balanced, tucked in, just a little light one to gauge distance, gauge reaction from your opponent, or a nice, fast, stiff jab. And you'll notice that naturally, I'm going to want to use my feet to combine that with the hands and step forward. And that's certainly something that you can practice. So let's recap. Balanced, here. Nice and easy, jab, gauging distance, little light one, or a fast one, nice and strong. You can use the jab to distract for the right hand over the top. You throw the jab, and as that's coming back, the cross comes over the top. But we're going to be looking at crosses very shortly. So again, nice and balanced, here. Jab, out and in. Comfortable, and in. Make sure that you don't extend the arm. You don't want to hyperextend. If you imagine that your arm nice and straight there, you're feeling pressure on the elbows, that's at 100%. You don't want to be locking out the elbow there. If you imagine that's at 100%, you want to be at about 95, 98%. Arm comes out here, nice and straight, but not locking it out there. You don't want to cause yourself any undue pressure that might result in injury there. Tuck it in, and here. So that's the jab. I want you to practice that. Take your time, don't rush. Review the video if necessary, and when you're ready, we'll move on. All right, so let's look at the cross, the big hand, the backhand, the two. This is the hand you're going to use to deliver that knockout blow. It typically comes after the jab, although you can lead with it. It's a very powerful, devastating knockout blow potentially, and we're going to show you how that works right now. So let's get you into your stance, nice and balanced. We're comfortable, we're here. The cross is coming from the shoulder, but it's being delivered by virtue of energy that you are transferring from your foot, your thigh, your hips, your core, your shoulder. The way we do that is in our balanced stance with our heel very slightly off the ground at the back here. We're going to transfer energy from the hips to the waist, the core, the shoulder, and then the arm comes out there. Balanced, turn, there. The whole body is turning into the punch. Let me demonstrate from the side. Nice and balanced, weight through the thighs, heel very slightly off the ground, elbow in, chin down, looking through the eyebrows, twisting, and that hand comes out there. Very important not to overextend. You don't want to be falling forward. You want to stay nice and comfortable here and bring it straight back. Okay? Notice how when I throw that punch, I've got my leg almost at right angles there. I've got weight dropping through it. The heel is off the ground. I'm putting pressure on the ball of the feet so as to drive that energy forward here. There. Again, nice and comfortable. Sit and turn. Again, I've got my chin down, the shoulders up protecting me, and straight back. This hand is guarding. There. You can practice this by throwing the punch, holding position, getting some muscle memory of what it feels like to be in this position here. And back. With the jab, as you know, we're popping from the shoulder here. But the cross, as with every other punch that we'll come to, you're turning through the hips and generating momentum from the feet. Now, combinations are for another video, but I do want to show you the old 1-2, the relationship between the jab and the cross. As you'll know, we're throwing the jab more than any other punch, close distance, and to tee up this right hand. So when we do that, we throw the jab from the shoulder, and as that comes back, we're then delivering that cross, the old 1-2. Bang, bang, here. What I want you to be conscious of is when you throw that jab and it comes back, not to drop the hand so as to expose your chin. Not a good idea, so we want to make sure we're protected. When you're throwing your right hand, it comes from the hips, turn here, and when you're using it in combination, make sure that the hands come out and in, straight, out and in, nice and tucked in. So that's the cross. Delivered effectively, it can be an absolutely devastating punch. So I want you to practice that. Take your time, breathe out as you throw your punches, review the video if you need to, and when you're ready, let's move on. All right, so let's look at the hook. Hook is a devastating knockout blow when delivered effectively. Usually, you're loaded up for it. You don't often lead with a hook. So let's show you how that works. As always, you want to get into your strong stance, nice and balanced. Feel strong in the thighs, chin down, elbows in, hands to the chin here. As I say, you wouldn't normally lead off the hook, so we're going to load up into it. Let's say we're going to throw that left hook. We look just to move, so as to put weight on the thigh here. Drop the weight there, ready to then launch, shifting the weight back, and then throwing the hook here. Here, throwing the hook there. Now what I want you to see is that I'm strong here. My foot has turned, the heel is off the ground, I've got weight going through the thigh. With the chin down, my shoulder is protecting me, and the elbow is parallel to the floor, here. Wrist nice and flat, guarded on the right side. Let's bring it back, let's go again, slip, here. Get into that position, hold, feel strong, feel the weight on the back leg here, because in doing that, you've allowed this one to move and turn into the punch. From the left side, it looks like this. We're nice and balanced. Elbows in. We're going to load up into it here. Turn there. Here. All right. We can throw hooks to the body and to the head. If I'm going to throw it to the body, just sit here. Sit here. To the head, same thing. Load here. Get some muscle memory of that position. Now it's typically thrown in combination, so let's say I'm going to throw my right hand. Look what's happened to the left. Starts in the jab position, but as I throw my right, I bring it back. In boxing language, that's called loading up. I've loaded up the punch, I've delivered my right, but I've actually shifted the weight onto the left leg here, and I'm now going to throw that hook. I could carry on. Right, and then left. Now we look at combinations in other videos, but for the sake of demonstrating the hook, let's go through that again. Cross, load it up on the left-hand side, turn. I could then throw my hook from here, my right hook here. It remains the same. I turn through the hips, the heel is off the ground, there. And you can just carry on. Upstairs, downstairs, here. But make sure you feel comfortable. You don't want to be throwing and moving off balance. You want to make sure you're taking weight on those thighs, putting pressure on through the ball of the feet here, and you're comfortable. Common mistake I see a lot is you're throwing a punch, you're looking to throw the hook, and you're swinging. Now you tell me the problem with that. How long do you think you're going to last before your opponent, bomb, bomb, throws straight punches straight down the middle? Against an effective opponent, that hand's not going to land. So the idea, the trick here is to make sure that we're tucked in, we're guarded as much as possible. Turn, throw the hook. Throw the hook, and back to position. Hook, and back to position. Load, and back. You can throw it in combination, typically the 1, 2, 3, the jab, cross, hook, jab, cross, hook. And then you could carry on. Cross, hook, hook, hook. Just remember, balance, guard, chin down, shoulder protecting the chin, arm parallel to the ground, and delivering the hand nice and easy. So that's the hook. It's a tricky one to master, but take your time, practice, review the video, and when you're ready, we'll move on. Let's look at the uppercut. Beautiful punch when delivered effectively and can have devastating consequences. Can be delivered with either hand, typically with the backhand for that knockout blow. Let's have a look at it. Get yourself into your stance. Nice and comfortable as ever. Balanced, elbows in, hands to the chin. What we're going to do with the uppercut, leading from the right hand, is just going to sit, take the weight on the thigh, back heel off the ground, shift the weight back, and drive the hand up here. Straight back. Notice as I'm throwing that punch, I've turned my hips, the heel is off the ground, the chin is down, and the shoulder is protecting it here. Let's have a look at it from the right side. There. Twisting through the hips, driving the weight from the ball of the foot and here. You want to make sure that as you throw your punch, you're not throwing yourself forward, you're not leaning back, you're balanced, you drive in there. Usually thrown in combination, let's say I threw my left hook, I'd be loading up this uppercut here, and then we drive it up. So let's say I've loaded up from the hook and then come to the uppercut there. You can also throw it as a lead here from the left, straight up. Requires again a load, so you're going to turn, throw the uppercut there. Straight through. What I want you to avoid doing, to be conscious of, is not to scoop the uppercut. Your opponent, if they halfway know what they're doing, they're going to be popping you left or right as you try and scoop that punch up. So as always, you're in guard, deliver, and then back to guard. Here. There. You can throw it in combination left and right. 1, 2, and keep going. You can throw it in combination with the hook. Even throw the right and deliver it there. Either way, you're making sure that you're nice and balanced, tucked in, and throwing the punch there. Breathe out as you do. Load up, here, and back. nice and comfortable. The uppercut is a tricky punch to learn, but in basic training, we're providing you with the tools to understand how to stand and how to deliver that shot. It's going to take practice, so go ahead and do that. Rewind the video and review it if necessary, and when you're ready, let's move on. All right, let's look at combination punches, combos. Essentially, a series of punches in sequence, essential for any boxer. Now, it's very easy to get caught up in fancy 4, 5, 10 punch combinations, but it's important before you do any of that to understand the principles behind delivering effective combination punches. So, as always, let's get you into a boxing stance. Nice and strong, balance through the thighs, chin down, elbows in, hands to the chin. Now, let's look at the most basic of all combinations, the 1-2, the jab cross. Jab comes out, comes back, I throw the cross. Jab out, cross. Now, what's not happening there is I'm throwing the jab, it comes back, and then I throw the cross. That's not a combination. Those are two individual punches. Jab, cross. For it to be an effective combination, that jab is coming out. As it's coming back, I'm then using that momentum to load up and throw that cross. 1, 2. Again, nice and balanced. 1, 2. I could then throw in, let's say, a hook into that. 1, 2. By virtue of throwing that cross, that 2, I've shifted my weight and I've loaded up on this hook. I can then bring this one back, and as I do, shift the weight and then deliver that hook. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3. From here, I could then throw a 4. I could throw the cross back here. Get that backhand out there again. 1, 2, 3. Cross again. Critically, what's happening here is I'm staying balanced. With each punch that I throw, I'm not throwing myself forward or getting myself off balance. I need that balance in order that every punch I throw is effective and gives me the opportunity to then recover into guard, whether to move, to defend and slip, use hands, or throw more punches. So, to recap at this point, effective combination punches requires balance and the hands coming back so as to provide momentum for the next punch. Again, looking at the 1-2 here. You can practice the 1-2 here. Go again, over and over. You should be able to do it all day long. Nice and balanced. The 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. With each punch you throw in combination, it loads up the next. 1 draws back the cross, the jab comes back, loads up the hook, maybe, or maybe the uppercut. This uppercut draws back the cross, maybe the roll. From here, it loads up the roll, maybe a hook. Either way, if you're moving effectively, you can throw combinations, nice and easy. So, practice 1-2s, practice 1, 2, 3s, practice your rolls with punches. Here. Either way, whatever you do, once you understand and master the balance, the guard, and the relationship between the punches, it doesn't matter what you're throwing. It doesn't matter what defensive maneuver you're using, you will create effective punch combinations. So, there you are. Combos as part of your basic training. Give it some thought, go ahead and practice, review the video if necessary, and there you go. All right, let's have a look at the slip. Very effective defensive maneuver for a boxer. Looks like this. Get yourself, as ever, into a strong boxer's stance so you feel nice and balanced. Strong in the thighs, elbows in, hands to the chin. You want to imagine that the hands are coming towards you, and all we're doing is we're just slipping, turning left and right. That's all there is to it, moving left and moving right. Easy, right? And it is. With our strong stance, we're turning through the hips, we're keeping our hand in guard, and we're just turning. Allowing that shot to slip, move past us here, slip, move past us here. We want to keep our hands to our chin, as always, slip, slip. What you don't want to do is you don't want to stick your bum out or go too far. It doesn't look pretty and it's not effective. You want to keep yourself tucked in nice, slip here. Priority number one, as always, is survive. Make sure that if the punch is coming at you, you're moving enough to avoid that shot hitting you. But of course, you're going to want to be able to land a shot. Take advantage of your opponent throwing a shot at you, which is why we keep the slips nice and simple here, not too far. So if the shot is coming at you, you're then in a position to counter. So, fairly simple looking, takes a bit of practice to feel comfortable and to master. Let's go through that again. Nice strong stance, elbows in, hands to the chin, just twisting here. Imagine the shots coming at you. The way I like to describe it here at the club is as if somebody's standing in front of you and you're just looking past them. Just looking past them there. Keep your hands up here. For extra defense, you can use your hands as blocks, here, here, as you slip. It then means you're in a position to slip, maybe block the punch, and throw a counter. There. Takes a bit of practice, because naturally, we're going to want to sort of move out the way of these punches coming at us. We want to keep it nice and short, so that we can avoid the shot, and then come back for a counter. The roll, an effective defensive maneuver, typically against a hook. Looks like this. Get in your strong stance, balanced here. We're going to start by shifting the weight from one leg to the other, and then we're going to drop and roll the weight on to the other leg. We can go back here. From one leg here to the other here. The way you want to combine that, the way you might want to think about that in your strong stance, it's kind of like a combination of a slip and a squat, except we're including a roll from one leg to the other. So again, the other way of looking at it is this. Slip, slip, squat. So we slip, it's kind of like we're squatting here, but we're rolling to the other leg, here. It requires balance. You're going to feel it on the thighs, here. And what's happening, if you get your balance right and you're shifting the weight effectively, is if you've got a shot coming at you, say a hook coming at you here, you're able to roll under that punch, the shot comes over you, you're balanced to then counter. You're here, rolling, counter. Roll twice, keep rolling. Here. Slip, roll, here. Takes a bit of practice, but make sure you've got your nice strong stance. Again, slip either left or right, and just bringing the weight to the other leg. Full turn here, or just here. You're creating effectively an arc so as to come under the punch and then look to either throw a punch or another defensive maneuver. The roll is a tricky thing to master and feel comfortable with, but with practice, not only will you be able to feel comfortable with it, but you'll be able to use it effectively for combinations and defensive moves. So there we have the basic defenses for the boxer. Parries, blocks, slips, and rolls. You can combine those and create effective defense in your boxing. Requires practice, so go ahead, review the videos, and when you're ready, let's move on. All right, let's look at defense. There are a few different ways in which you can protect yourself in your boxer's stance. We're going to look at parries in your guard position. Typically, you're going to have your hands here, guarding your chin, elbows to the ribs, and you've got hands coming at you. You want to get used to the motion with the elbows in of parrying or swatting those hands away. So if you imagine you've got a shot coming at you here, with an open hand, you're just blocking the punches, just parrying the shots. So if I've got a jab coming at me, the mirror hand, so if I've got a jab, I'm going to parry it with my mirror hand being the right here. Just parry. Again, nice strong stance, parry there. Just you're swatting it away. It's important to recognize that what you don't want to do as the hand is coming at you is to really swipe at it. Why don't you want to do that? Well, if you'd need me to explain, if you parry the hand to that extent, then of course you're open. Your opponent is going to want to get to your chin, so they're going to want you to move your hands away. They may fake with a jab or come in with a cross. You want to parry short and sweet, just enough that it deflects the hand away without exposing your chin. So the discipline that you want to be practicing is to keep your chin down, elbows in, hands to the chin, and just parry it here. You'll notice the head moving as you parry, and that's a good practice. Slips covered in another video, but it's a good habit just to parry and move your head at the same time. Bring yourself out of the firing line. Blocks, effective defensive tool for the boxer, looks like this. Get yourself into your nice strong stance, as always, balanced. Weight through the thighs, shoulder back, chin down, elbows in, hands to the chin. Very simply, all you're doing is you're turning the body, bringing the hand up, block. Turn the body, bring the hand up and block. Here, there. What I'm not doing is I'm throwing my hand up, looking away, so I can't see what's happening. I'm not throwing the hand up, turning away, so I can't see what's happening. As always, I'm keeping my eyes on the prize, my head in the game. Block, block, so I can see what else is coming, or I can assess my opportunity to counter. Nice and tucked in here. Block, block. What I'm not doing also as I block is throw my arms up. Why am I not doing that? Because I don't want to create an opportunity for my opponent. I'm keeping it nice and tight. I don't need to throw my arm up. I'm not looking to block any of this space here. This is all I'm looking to protect. So the hand just here is enough. And when done effectively, you can then throw in a counter punch after the block. I might throw this here, come back with my cross. I might throw this here, come back with a hook. The blocks can be used straight against straight punches or hooks here. So as part of your basic training, those are your blocks. Go ahead and review, and we'll move on. Hi guys, in this video we're going to show you how we wrap our hands here at Total Boxer using 3.5 meter cotton wraps. We're just going to put our thumb through the hoop and wrap around the wrist a couple of times. 1, 2. We then hook the thumb, go around the thumb, over the hand to the side, and then a couple of times underneath the fingers and over the knuckles, keeping the fingers nice and wide. Back down underneath, we go over the top and then through the fingers. 1, 2, 3. Come back down underneath. We go over the top again to the side of the hand, fingers nice and wide, underneath the fingers and then back over the knuckles again. Come back around, underneath, over and across, and then around the wrist to complete the wrap 2 or 3 times, or with whatever wrap you have remaining. And there you are, complete and ready for your boxing training. So that's it. Congratulations, you've completed your basic training. In these videos, we looked at the boxer's stance, the importance of staying balanced in a solid guard. We looked at punches, the jabs, the crosses, the hooks, and uppercuts. We looked at basic defense, using hands and head movement, using the feet. And we looked at combinations, the principles behind delivering effective punching combos. With practice, you will master these essential ingredients that will help you on your journey, whether you are a complete beginner or even an experienced boxer. My name is Matt Garcia. I want to thank you for taking this basic training, and I wish you every success in your continued journey to boxing.
spiritual guidance. It's about a functional physical practice. So we've taken the asanas out of yoga, which is the postures. We've changed them slightly so that they help a boxer more technically. So for example, rather than a prayer, we work through a guard.